another bang. All them having cars now, which I bag it up. Light up my card with a sweet one bliss. Someone flicks me a bag it up. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah, except for strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to iBoxingHub. My name's Abbas and we're here to give you that one final little preview before the big main event in the early hours of today featuring Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. But before we go into it, here's a quick little video from our sponsor, D-Rock Clothing. As you can see there, you know the vibes. D-Rock Clothing, iBoxingHub 24. Get yourself 40% off. Before we go into the video, quick little shout out to everybody who has subscribed to the channel and shown love, not just this week, not last week, from the creation of the channel itself. We finally hit that magic 1K mark, and this is just the start. But with all that being said, here we go. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. The boxing aficionados are calling it a disgrace. They don't believe how can Mike Tyson lose to Jake Paul, but I'm going to tell you why exactly. Let's kick it off with Mike Tyson to start off with. I'm going to be frank, the man's old. Actually, before I do that, everyone in the comments, when you hit the comments in, if you guys disagree with my views, if you got time towards the end, I'm going to put this link in so that you can come on. You've got 2 minutes to convince me otherwise, and I'll rate you out of 10 as well. So yeah, that's another thing as well. But yeah, let's talk about Mike Tyson before I talk about Jake. Mike Tyson's old. If we're going to be frank, Mike Tyson's super old. This fight, when it was originally meant to happen, was delayed, not because of Jake Paul, but because of Mike Tyson's health conditions. There's rumors that during when we had the little open workout, he supposed to have oxygen as well. And I just look at that and I just also compare the fact that, look, you are fighting somebody who is, albeit a somewhat padded record, someone who is an active boxer. Whether people like to hear that or not is a different thing, but he is technically a boxer right now. And I just don't look at Mike Tyson and think, you can go 16 minutes with Jake Paul. And that's not to say he can't. But if I was to be honest, I wouldn't realistically think that he will be able to go to 16 minutes with Jake Paul. And then people are like, what happens if he catches Jake Paul? What happens if Jake Paul catches Mike Tyson? Jake Paul knocks people out. Whether they are professional boxers or not is a different ballgame. But he has knocked a lot of people out. The people he's fought, he's knocked them out. People say, oh, he's fought MMA fighters. I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. Roy Jones Jr., in his final fight for Anthony Pettis, who's an MMA fighter, the MMA fighter won. Now, if Jake Paul fought that MMA fighter, probably knocks him out. And then people would turn around and say, absolutely not. It's not a proper record. He's not fought anybody. But Roy Jones Jr., at the grand age, I think it was 54 or something of that age, fought an MMA fighter and lost. Now, for me to look at Mike Tyson, who has health conditions, who has this fight delayed, who we genuinely do not know how he's going to be for the ring rust that he's had, for me to really believe that he can beat Jake Paul at this present moment in time is super hard to do. Like, I just don't personally see how that can be done. as I said, look, if you guys want to change my mind, by all means, I'm going to put the link in the chat soon, and you can come on and we can have a conversation. But I just want to have a look at some of the comments quickly. You got a Ross saying, get my practice for circus boxing in Qatar. Listen, I'm telling you right now, you can say what you want about circus boxing. It's transitioned. These guys to a level, there's a skill set to them. And that's what you're going to see with Jake Paul. If you've never watched Jake Paul fight, I'm going to say this now. He doesn't fight recklessly. He has somewhat of a average boxing style. And that's what Eddie Hearn said. He goes, look, you're average. And he took offense to that. But average is actually very complimentary of Jake Paul, which is fine. Shout out to Aisha saying, big up, Abbas, big up to yourselves for all the sick interviews that you do. You can catch Aisha every Monday doing her stuff. Are you laughing at Jake or are you laughing at Mike? Give me the little heads up. Give me the little heads up who you're laughing at. Because I'll be honest with you, the boxing heads, I understand why they are saying what they're saying about Jake Paul can't beat. Jake Paul can't beat Mike Tyson. But please, this is not Mike Tyson that fought back in the day. This is Mike Tyson who is touching 60, has health issues, hasn't fought for probably the same time that I've probably been alive. And I'm meant to believe that you can beat somebody who has dedicated a solid 3 to 4 years in the game and has a range of activity. So, yeah, that's another thing. And let me put this out there to everybody as well. Mike Tyson, in the history of boxing, has got one of the worst defeats ever. He's the reason why there is the biggest upset in boxing goes against Mike Tyson. So you tell me, in an era where Mike Tyson was in his prime, he's got upset loss against him. And again, I keep trying to say this, you're fighting a person who is active, who is hungry, who wants to prove a point. That's Jake Paul. Gonna just quickly go over the comment. Shout out to Rico. Listen, I want to say you can catch this guy, but I don't know where you can catch him, because you can catch him every moment of every second, whether it's on Twitter or X, whether it's on the channel. This guy is live streaming. He's going to be live streaming tonight, the fight as well. Tyson to brutally stop him in 3 rounds. This is what I'll say. If Tyson can win this fight, he has to win it early. But I promise you guys right now, Jake Paul will not lose this fight. I'm going to go through why Jake will win this fight very soon. Ross saying, I'm the only one who believes Jake could actually achieve something in the game if he follows structure path. So I'll talk about the structure path after I talk why I think Jake Paul can win the fight. So yeah, like I said, big up to everybody as well. Big up to Trey, obviously, saying, showing love to myself. I'm showing love to you, because without you, this channel isn't what it is. But yeah, moving on to Jake Paul. Is the record anything special? No. But you know what the record shows me? There's a guy that has slowly over time developed his skill set. And it shows me there's a guy who has power. At the end of the day, whether you're knocking out anybody, you are still knocking somebody out. And this man genuinely has power enough where he can turn around and knock people out. And again, as I said before, people say, oh, he cherry picks his opponents. Listen, when somebody starts their career, 90% of your first 15 fights, okay, let me say 10 fights, are cherry picked. They're cherry picked for you to win. And that's what Jake Paul's done to an extent, because at the end of the day, he has still fought big names or valued names on his resume. Okay, when he fought Tommy Fury, maybe that result didn't go with him. But the reason why I think that is, he tried to box Tommy Fury. Whereas when you look at KSI has that very awkward stance. The way he fights, it's not as traditional as Jake Paul. Jake Paul, funny enough, has a very traditional side of boxing, a style of boxing, I should say, compared to a lot of the other influencers in the scene. That's why I don't even liken Jake Paul to the influencer scene. I've got him on his own area where he's able to do his own thing and slowly build a resume, slowly build his way into professional boxing, you could say, or professional opponents. So look at this. Thank you. This is what I'm gonna say as well. You could argue Jake's opponents are better than some of the prospects that and it's 100% correct. The only thing I'll say about Jake Paul is yes, technically they are not full-blown boxers, but they are people again with boxing experience. And that's why I don't think Jake Paul is getting the respect that he deserves going into this particular fight. Let me see what Rico said. Let me bring this up. Of course he does, but that's fine. Vidal Riley is a level above Jake Paul. Jake Paul, let me bring up the record quickly. Let me bring up the record. We're going to have a little pause whilst we bring up the 11 fights, 10 wins, 7 by KO. With there, Mike Perry, Nate Diaz, the loss to Tommy Fury, fine, beats Anderson Silva. These are all branded names. Listen, it's not that he's. I just literally said this. With Jake Paul, he's in a position where he cannot come into the boxing world as a nobody. He can't fight on undercards as a nobody. He has to be the main attraction because of the brand of what Jake Paul is. If he was taking the Misfits route, it'll be a different thing. But because he's doing his own thing with MVP Promotions, he has to be the headline. And unfortunately, he can't headline if he's not fighting anybody with a name caliber. It's that thing of being a victim of your own success. And that's kind of what Jake Paul is. Jake Paul's a victim of his own success in the sense that he's created a brand prior to coming into the boxing world. And now, because he's in the boxing world, he cannot fight someone who's just got a record of 3 wins and 18 losses. Because what will happen is the public will look at that and say, Jake Paul's fighting a nobody, but then he's fighting technically a professional boxer that your favorite boxer would have probably fought coming up the ranks. But going just directly breaking down this particular fight, 8 2-minute rounds. 2-minute rounds where one man's cardio for me, actually, no, let me be fair. I don't think Jake Paul's cardio is that special as well. But I think he's got enough to be able to go the 8 2-minute rounds. And I believe this fight is also put for 8 2-minute rounds to help Mike Tyson. When it comes to Mike, he can't, this is going to sound crazy, he can't outpoint Jake Paul in this particular fight. Jake Paul, to be able to stop Jake Paul, to be able to win this fight, he has to stop Jake Paul. And I can't see how that happens. I'm not sitting here and saying Jake Paul has the biggest and greatest skill set in the world of boxing, because he doesn't. He's 10 fights into his career. He has ambition, and you have to respect the ambition, because look, there are certain fighters that don't live up to the hype. And Jake has zero hype going into boxing, but he's doing it off his own back. When it comes to Jake Paul, I said this to a lot of people before. Jake ends this fight when Jake wants to end this fight. Out of respect, I want to say for Mike Tyson, this could go all 8 rounds. And I wouldn't be shocked by that. But there's also this other side where Jake Paul really hurts Mike Tyson. And I don't think a lot of people are thinking that. A lot of people are going with the fact that, oh, Mike Tyson touches Jake Paul's out. And I'm going on the other side of things, where I genuinely believe if Jake Paul hits Mike Tyson clean in the first couple of rounds, he can knock him out. And he can knock him out quite badly. So like I said, I'm sticking with Jake. When this fight was announced, I'm sticking with Jake. I'm going to just throw this out there. If there are any other people in the comments right now that want to go ahead and give me their 2 minutes on why they believe Mike Tyson could beat Jake Paul, by all means, I'm gonna put it out there right now. We're gonna be live for probably another 5 or so minutes, so before we get ahead to the big main event itself, which I know Rico's dying to be able to put out as well. He's dying for this. But I just want to touch on what Jake's done overall for boxing. And that's highlighted by Amanda Serrano as well. He's put her in a position where financially she's going to be set, fully supported, and you just have to also appreciate that as well. And this fight that she has with Katie Taylor coming up, I understand from a boxing purist why people are saying it's the main event. But I'm going to be honest. The spectacle of Jake Paul and Mike Tyson deserves to be the main event. People not going to like me saying that, but that does deserve to be the main event. Because, and I'll say this in the nicest way possible, a lot of the people, the 60,000 plus that are going to be coming out to Dallas, will be coming for that main event. The core main event is going to be an excellent fight. But if that was the main event, 40,000 would have left the stadium by the time it begins. And that's not me saying anything bad on both of them because I think it's going to be amazing, but I'm just being honest. And that's the way I appreciate this event. And also, the actual event itself has become such a big spectacle that nobody's really talking about the Riyadh season card that's happening tomorrow night. We have the UFC, which is another reason why I also believe that this fight was done on a Friday, just not to clash with the UFC, which is smart. But nobody's really talking about the Riyadh season event that's also happening as well. And that just shows to the power that I would say Jake Paul has. And yes, he's got the right dancing partner right now with Mike Tyson, but he's had these similar dancing partners across the board. And he's always been the moneymaker or the A side across them, and he deserves to be that as well. So yeah, that's just what I'm gonna say. Not about it. I've heard a lot of people say. I've heard a lot of people say it's a disgrace. I've heard a lot of the boxing guys turn around and say, "I don't believe Jake Paul can do 3 rounds with Mike Tyson." And I'm here to tell you, Jake Paul at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning will be beating Mike Tyson. Listen, guys, if there's any comments, throw them in right now. Rico, if you want to come on quickly for 2 minutes, I'm putting the floor out to you. So it's available for you to come on. But otherwise, listen, we have a huge couple of shows lined up still. I promise you, he has 2 rounds to do this in. If he doesn't, then it's bye-bye. Because I don't believe the cardio will be there. Listen, Rico's in. How are we, sir?
I heard my name and I've disappeared somewhere. Where am I? What is this? What's going on?
This is the crossover. How are we, Rico?
I hope you're very well, brother, man. You know, I always got to support my brother Abzi, man. You know, I always got to support the team, the gang, the familia, la familia out here. To say I'm very proud of you, brother. You know, you've completely smashed it this year with everything that you've been doing. So congratulations. And yeah, man. Can't wait to see how you make me rich next year. So about
Stay point.
So you said things like you know, people call this a farce, it's a disgrace, and you say that Jake Paul has skills. Some of which are true, some of which are not. Jake, yes, he does have, I would say, maybe just above Southern area level, but 10 seconds of Mike Tyson will absolutely destroy a whole life of Jake Paul. Jake Paul is very slow and he's heavier now and he's limited, but Mike is not limited. Okay, Mike is going in there punching holes. Okay, Mike is going in there. What's Jake Paul gonna do when Mike comes inside the distance and he's doing the peekaboo? Does Jake know how to do anything with a peekaboo?
This is what I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
When it comes to the actual fight as well, I get it. Do not get me wrong. I think he's got power, but I think what people are seeing is pad work, and then just basically getting excited over pad work. That pad work can
I would
only
too. If you saw Jake
listen.
Paul's pad work, his pad work is shit.
No,
Like
but
that's
the
where you're
pad-
supposed to look great.
No, but the pad work for Mike Tyson doesn't move me in the sense that I don't trust his cardio. I genuinely don't think someone like Mike Tyson pushing 60 with health conditions is able to realistically close the distance after 4 rounds or 3 rounds. I think I can give you the opening couple where I think, okay, Jake's potentially got to survive them and box on the outside rather than go toe to toe, because don't do that. But after that, once the cardio side of things really kicks in, I think Jake's got this covered, and I just think he'll be able to fight this fight however he wants to do it. To that, you say?
I look, at the end of the day, Jake Paul's got all to lose, and not much to gain. He beats Mike Tyson. It's Mike Tyson. I think. I know the route that they're trying to get him a world title shot at cruiserweight. I think they've actually lined somebody in the top 15 up for him. And then, yes, mate, yes, you'll get your wish. You get your wish next year. From what I hear, the strong whispers that I hear is that if, and there's a massive if, he gets through the Titan that is Mike Tyson, you might see him fight for a world title next year.
Listen,
Mike, that's a big. I don't know.
Hey, the only way he can win a world title is if you have
we saw how good he did against the boxer the other day.
Listen, all I can say is the only way Jake Paul wins a world title is if he fights a Rolly Romero type of champion, where he's just put down, we know you're useless, but somehow you're a champion.
Mate, look, there's the WBA regular title. That's a world title. The same title, Muhammad. There's the IBO. There's the IBO cruiserweight title. He might make the IBO famous, more famous than it's been made by Chris Eubank Jr., and that's crazy.
I'll be honest with you. The reason I will be there for it is because the eyes that we'll get on a Jake Paul IBO fight will be ridiculous. Plus, I can't wait to hear what Eddie Hearn would say. Can you imagine?
Eddie will be pissed. Eddie will be pissed. Eddie will be furious. Eddie will be like, "Fuck it, I'm get me out of Essex. Get me out of Essex."
Do you know what though? This is what I'll say. Just in general, like as a spectacle, it's like we've had the big fights in terms of Usyk, Fury. We had the Undisputed at light heavyweight. I'm not saying it's up there, but the aura of it all, it's got me more excited than I can remember for a long time. Like, obviously, we've got the big one coming up at the end of the year as well. But just to slot
you reckon
this
is like a tribal chief aura?
There is that
Don't
aura.
you say it? I was joking. I was joking. Don't take it back. Take it back.
There's aura about this fight. But yeah, look, I don't mind it. I actually don't.
I'm so sorry, my tribal chief.
All I'm gonna say is, like these boxing heads, I think they're just a bit too moody about it.
I mean, it's hard not to be, bro. Like Mike, I remember as a young man watching Mike Tyson, bro.
I never watched
in the 90s. In the 90s, bro, I watched Mike Tyson. I think he had just come out of prison. I was born in the early 90s, right? And then the late 90s, I think he fought Lennox in 2004. But I think in 98, 99, I can't remember who he was fighting. I think it was Holyfield, if I'm not mistaken. But he was obviously on the decline. And, I actually saw I saw a really, really good documentary the other day about Lennox Lewis. I think it was one of the Four Kings. And Lennox was like, look, it weren't the same. Tyson spent 4 years in prison. I was outside sharpening, knocking everybody out. That weren't the same Tyson. He lost his killer instinct in prison, bro. Like, and Tupac died and this and everything like that. So now that Mike Tyson is back. And that pineapple-headed Disney child, has stepped on one of my goats' toes, bruv. Don't step on the toes, bruv. Yeah, and this he's going to find out. He is going to be the toe, and Mike Tyson is going to be the Air Force One.
The black Air Force Ones.
The black Air Force Ones, Abzi. We're black Air Force Oneing it, bro. We're back. We're back, Abzi. We're black. We're back. We're black.
But do you know what? I'm just happy. I'm happy, you know. Like, it's on Netflix. It's kind of for free. The sneaker in that it's for free, but really you gotta buy a subscription, so it's not for free.
It's a great weekend. It's a great weekend, Abzi. We got Latino night tomorrow on DAZN. Sorry,
hey, listen, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's on Sky as well. I think it's on for free. I think
it's literally free.
Yeah,
you can watch your Golden Boy, DAZN everywhere. It's an amazing card. You've obviously got the card tonight. I mean, the one tomorrow. I forgot it was in Riyadh. So it's actually going to be a normal time where we'll have a normal. Again, guys, please tune in. Obviously for the live watch along tomorrow. Hopefully, we'll have my guy Abzi there. We'll have hopefully a lot of our family members and stuff come through the watch alongs. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting Abs, Ray. For supporting all of us. You know, we've reached a great milestone today because of all of you guys, and we love and
thank you, Jake Paul. You did this. His content did this for us this week.
Okay. Actually, do you know what? You are right, to be fair. I can't. Okay, look, thank you to the fans. We love you. Okay, tune into all our stuff. And we're going to keep on smashing it. 2025 is going to be amazing, guys. So you're going to see this particular man, Abzi, over here. You're going to see him on your screen everywhere and in amazing events and giving amazing interviews. So, again, I'm very proud of you, Aisha, and everybody on the team, man, honestly.
Listen, Rico, I appreciate you for helping us. This guy does a lot of things in the background. Like, nobody sees it. Outside, we see the text messages that we can't talk about, but we also see the support. So, Rico, appreciate you. Listen, let's just ride off into the sunset with a beautiful Jake Paul knockout tonight. I think even Neutral's back. I think he's doing a live show, if I'm not wrong, today as well.
Yes, live show is tonight. We will be kicking off. So the event starts at 12 o'clock is the main card. So I was gonna start from 1 a.m. but I might just do the whole event. I might just do the whole event from 12, just going on straight through, and then I'll be in the studio tonight, so you're going to see me in the studio, and then get my ass back home, sleep, and then we go again for the big Latino night tomorrow. It's all for the fans. It's all for the fans. We love the fans, man. This is why we do it. We do it for all of you.
Listen, guys, quick little wrap up. We just thought we'll throw this out there as well. Until next time, guys, in the words of Canelo, Viva Mexico! Peace.
It's another band. All the Marvin calls now, with your bag it up. I start my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag it up. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.